Welcome to the AI-powered reader, your shortcut to unlocking the world's best books. Get ready to absorb key insights, understand core concepts, and expand your knowledge all in a fraction of the time. Let's dive in. Today, we're diving into the new book, Hidden Potential: The Science of Achieving Greater Things by Adam Grant. Grant is a renowned organizational psychologist and a professor at the Wharton School of the University of Pennsylvania, where he became the school's youngest tenured professor. Following his influential bestsellers like Give and Take, Originals, and Think Again, this new work challenges the conventional wisdom that greatness is an innate gift. Grant argues that potential is not about our starting point, but about the distance we travel. He reveals how we can unlock our own hidden potential and that of others by developing character skills and creating scaffolding, structures that provide motivation and opportunity. The book ultimately explores a powerful question. How can we all get better at getting better and achieve greater things, regardless of where we begin?
Hey everyone, and welcome to our deep dive into some really fascinating ideas. Today, we are breaking down a big one.
All right, let's just jump right in. We're getting into Adam Grant's book, Hidden Potential, and it kicks off with this incredibly powerful idea from Tupac. This quote is basically the guiding light for the whole book. You know, how do you actually grow roses in concrete? How do we learn to spot amazing potential where absolutely no one else is looking? So to really get into this, Grant tells this amazing story. Picture this. It's 1991 at the National Junior High Chess Championships. On one side, you have the Wharton School. Think elite New York City prep school, the three-time defending champs. I mean, their star player was literally the kid that the movie Searching for Bobby Fischer was based on. And on the other side, a team from Harlem called the Raging Rooks. Just a group of B students, no prodigies in sight, coached by this young chess master who was on a mission.
And this classic underdog story, it's the perfect setup to dismantle this huge myth that achievement is just for the naturally gifted, the people who seem to shine right from day one.
Okay, so here is the central argument of the entire book. We've been looking at potential completely wrong. We're obsessed with where people start, that raw, innate talent. But Grant says, no, the real measure of potential isn't your starting line, it's how far you can travel. It's less about being a freak of nature and so much more about becoming a freak of nurture.
So this brings up a pretty big question, right? If the Raging Rooks didn't have any of those star players, what was their secret weapon? How'd they do it?
Well, their secret was character, but probably not in the way you're thinking. Grant totally redefines character here. It's not some fixed trait you're born with. Instead, it's a set of skills you can actually develop. Things like determination, discipline, proactivity. It's really the learned ability to choose your values over your impulses.
And these are not just some soft skills. Get this, there was a study that trained one group of business founders on traditional stuff, finance, marketing, and another group on character skills, like taking initiative. The results were just stunning. The character group saw their profits grow by 30%. That's nearly triple the impact of the standard business training. So yeah, character delivers very real results.
Now, building these skills almost always means getting comfortable with being uncomfortable. Look at comedian Steve Martin. He's the first to admit he was not a natural talent. He bombed for years. One time a heckler literally threw a glass of red wine at him. The one skill he avoided like the plague was writing. He just hated it. But he forced himself to do it, and he was through that painful, super uncomfortable process that he figured out how to structure a joke and really find his unique voice.
So, how do we actually apply this stuff? Well, Grant gives us a pretty clear path to speed up our own growth. It's not just about, tolerating discomfort when it shows up. No, it's about actively embracing it, then going out and seeking it, and finally, even amplifying it, really pushing ourselves into those situations that stretch our abilities to the absolute limit. Of course, let's be real. Seeking out discomfort is hard. It takes a ton of motivation, and that's where the book's next huge idea comes into play. We need to build what he calls scaffolding, these temporary support structures that help us keep our momentum going and reach heights we just couldn't on our own. What's so cool about this is how it totally rethinks practice. We've all heard of deliberate practice, right? Those repetitive drills, they're effective, sure, but they can lead straight to burnout or even bore out. So Grant introduces this idea of deliberate play. This is a type of scaffolding where you actually redesign those tedious tasks into fun, structured activities. The whole point is to fuel what psychologists call harmonious passion, where you're pulled along by joy, not just pushed by pressure.
And the perfect example of this is Steph Curry. This guy was not some five-star prodigy coming out of high school. All the top colleges completely overlooked him, but he linked up with a trainer who turned all those grueling, boring drills into high-pressure games. That scaffolding, that deliberate play, is what helped Curry build his legendary skills. Not by grinding through boredom, but by tapping into his pure love of the game.
But this is where Grant takes a really crucial turn. He argues that developing our own character and building our own scaffolding, that's not the end of the story. The journey to unlock hidden potential is, in the end, a team sport. It's all about building systems of opportunity that allow other people to discover and develop their own potential too. And that brings us right back to the Raging Rooks. Their story didn't just end with that one championship. No way! Their coach, Maurice Ashley, went on to become the first African-American chess grandmaster. A player on the team, Sharu Robinson, actually won a scholarship to Dalton, the school they beat, and he became a teacher, coaching a whole new generation. They didn't just succeed, they built a system that created even more success.
And ultimately, all of this leads to this really profound shift in how we should measure potential, not just in ourselves, but in everyone around us.
Look, we're all conditioned to admire the person standing at the very top of the mountain. But Grant urges us to look a little closer. We should be celebrating the person who started at sea level and climbed 5,000 feet, way more than the person who got helicoptered halfway up. It's the distance you travel, the growth you show, that reveals your true potential.
So in the end, Hidden Potential isn't just a book about achieving more, it's about becoming more. And it leaves all of us with one really powerful question to think about. It's not about where you start, it's about how far you're willing to go.
That's all for this episode of the AI-Powered Reader. We hope today's summaries sparked new ideas and brought you valuable insights. If you enjoyed what you heard, please subscribe wherever you get your podcasts and consider leaving a review. It really helps others discover the show. Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and keep reading, or rather listening.